With the arrival of Season 4, Halo Infinite finally got its long-term career rank progression system. However, it didn't quite live up to the expectations that fans had. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why it disappoints me personally and many others, while also discussing Halo Infinite's progression as a whole, not just the career rank system, but various other elements, and the ways that 343 can adjust or improve these systems, and also comment on some additions they could make to make these systems feel much more rewarding. Anyway, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here, as I really do appreciate it, and it really does help the channel out. Now, without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight in. First of all, let's start off by talking about the various ways that you progress in Halo Infinite. The first and most obvious one is the Battle Pass. This is the progression system we've had since day one, and just like other live service games, you have 100 tiers of cosmetic or other rewards that you can unlock by completing various challenges. When the game did come out, it was limited to just the XP from challenges, but this was later changed where you got match-based XP as well. You would get extra XP based on your performance or based on which playlist you'd play, and obviously the challenges were still there alongside it to provide a nice little extra boost for those that were completing the challenges, and they were also made much easier, so overall it was a lot easier to accomplish. However, once the Battle Pass is over, you don't really have anything else to achieve for the rest of that season. Of course, there is Ultimate Rewards, which you get for completing all of your weekly challenges plus the Ultimate Challenge, and I do think these are a nice little bonus. There is also events every now and again, which I would say fall under that progression category, as again they tie to the challenges. You have to complete those in order to unlock free rewards. And now with Season 4, we also have the career rank progression system, which is based off of your match score. There is 7 different tiers to reach, starting with Bronze and finishing off with Hero, and most of these also have their own subdivisions. I think the only one that doesn't is Hero rank. Once you've reached Hero, that's it, you've completed the progression system. And as I said, it is entirely based on the score that you achieve in a match. The better you play, the more XP you acquire, the quicker you level up. However, the reason this has been disappointing to so many is that after waiting for it for so long, there isn't any real reward. Sure, you unlock emblems, but these, compared to some of the other ones, do feel a bit lackluster, and I also don't see the point in unlocking an emblem that also tells you your rank when your rank is also displayed on your nameplate as is. It just feels kind of pointless. Of course, you can put it on your armor, your weapons, your vehicles as well, it's not just a nameplate, but I do find it weird when someone is flexing that they're Bronze General. Now, I have spoken about it before, how I believe 343 could have added some kind of set of rewards that you unlock for completing each tier. When you complete Bronze, maybe you get a set of Bronze weapon coatings or a Bronze armor coating. But I don't think it necessarily has to be limited to something that fits into the colour of that tier. There is a ton of unreleased visors, weapon coatings, armor coatings, and various other things that 343 could have used in this progression system that have been in the files since Season 1, and it doesn't look like there's any sign of any of them releasing anytime soon. Now, does something like a visor seem like the best reward ever? Well, no, not really, but I still think that's a little more rewarding than an emblem, as that is actually something I can use on my Spartan. And again, I know I've established you can use the emblem on your spawn, but that's different, especially considering that's obscured by 90% of the chest pieces on most of the armor cores. They could have also done weapon charms too, which I do feel like fall under a similar category to the emblems. However, the weapon charms are a bit more physical, and I feel like they have a bit more presence on your weapon. Now, one of the community managers, Sketch, has alluded to the fact that there will be a hero rank reward. As of right now, we don't know what that is, and it isn't currently in the game. I think right now, Hero doesn't actually grant you with anything. And although a lot of people have gotten their hopes up, some people think it's going to be the Mark 6 armor core or a helmet or some form of special armor. I think there's a large chance it'll just be an emblem or a coating. Now, if it is a coating, fair enough. But I just feel like overall there should be more, considering this is quite a hefty grind. Now, I will admit, for a lot of players, the progression system as it is still somewhat enjoyable. A lot of people are pretty content just being able to flex their rank, just to have that little thing next to their nameplate, or to unlock these special emblems, as it gives them a sense of accomplishment to show, like, I'm a higher rank than you, therefore I'm better than you. That being said though, for the wider majority of the audience, especially the casual players, this isn't really enough, and a lot of people want to feel like they are really earning something. In Halo Reach, as you reached new tiers, you could access new armors that you'd have to spend your credits on, but obviously the credits were earned for free. You did have to pay for each. I'm not drawing a comparison between the monetization system here. And I'm not saying Infinite should give you a bunch of armor every single time you level up, but I do feel like there should be something more. Again, whether that be some of the various unreleased coatings, something like Acid Punch or Access Denied, or the Power Loading coating, or the Fateful Kinetics Visor, all of these random unreleased cosmetics that are just there in the files that aren't being used for anything. Just throw them in at some of the random tiers just so people feel like they're achieving something. I do feel like I need to reiterate, I am very glad we finally have a progression system. It is a feature that myself and many others have wanted, and I'm glad it's finally there. But it just feels so lackluster to what we've had in prior entries, or what players kind of expected with how long it took to come to the game. And I feel like there's other things 343 can do with Infinite's progression, and I don't just mean the Battle Pass or the career rank, but rather other things that they can implement to constantly give players something to do. And what I propose here is various types of new challenges, and I'll break it up into 3 categories. First of all, monthly challenges, next up, seasonal challenges, and then milestone challenges. And this is something I've brought up in a much older video, but again, that's an older video, so it's been a while since I've spoke about anything like this. And I know at this point, most players in any game are getting very tired of challenges, but they're not something that's new to Halo. We have had them really since Reach, and obviously completing challenges in Reach awarded you with credits. You had some that were much easier, and you had some that were a lot more difficult. But starting off with what I think monthly challenges could be, they would essentially be a set of much more difficult versions of the weekly challenges. You might get a weekly challenge that is play 5 matches. Now the monthly variant could be play 75 matches, and obviously you have an entire month to do this. And these could also reward XP for your battle pass in a much larger quantity. Maybe each one could reward you with 1000 XP each, but I do feel like it should give you a little more. Maybe for completing each monthly challenge you get anywhere between 25 to 75 credits depending on the difficulty. Now this is only a very small amount, which players can eventually save up every month in order to buy things off the store. It doesn't specifically have to be credits, they could implement some other currency, if 343 don't want people using the free credits to buy the battle pass. But I think there should be something that lets players buy some of the various store armor, and again, you're only getting a small quantity and these would be monthly. Maybe there's just a set of 4 to 5 monthly challenges, and overall you can earn 200 or 250 credits. Not a large amount by any margin, but it would help players feel a bit more rewarded for their efforts, and for those that play consistently, they'll be able to save up enough to buy something from the store, again buy the battle pass or a HCS bundle, or just something that they want after a while of playing. And they just have to be more difficult variants of the things that we expect for weekly challenges. Sometimes you'll have a challenge that's get 10 kills using the assault rifle, sidekick and battle rifle. Well, it could just be multiplied to where you need to get 150 kills. It would take much longer, but again, you have an entire month in order to complete it. As for seasonal challenges, well, we did have something like this in Master Chief Collection, and these would grant players with special cosmetics. And I feel like if this was done in Infinite, these challenges and cosmetics should theme around that specific season. Using Season 4 as an example, we know the main mode is Infection, so the seasonal challenges could focus on that. Maybe if you infected 100 or 1000 Spartans during that season, you get some special cosmetic for the Hazmat Armor Core. For surviving 100 rounds as the survivor, you could again get a special coating. And these would just give players an extra thing to do throughout that specific season. Obviously, once the season ends, there's a large chance those cosmetics will go, unless they resell them on the store or something. So there would be an element of FOMO tied to it, but that is just the nature of live service games, although you would still have plenty of time to unlock those cosmetics. Some of these challenges would probably be quite difficult too, as again they need to last the entire season, over that 3 to 4 month period. And the third and final form of challenges I want to talk about that 343 could consider is milestone challenges. There would be a large variety of these that are permanently available, and 343 could grow them over time and add more to them. And they would just be completing various milestone tasks, sometimes unlocking players a special reward. There could be a milestone challenge for each weapon. Maybe they could do it where they come in separate tiers. Like, for example, you could have a challenge that is get 150 kills with the assault rifle, and that's just tier 1, and completing this tier awards you with a special assault rifle weapon, and completing this awards you with a special assault rifle emblem. Tier 2 could be get 500 assault rifle kills, and that could then give you a special weapon charm, and the final tier could give you an assault rifle coating. But it doesn't just have to be limited to something like that. Maybe you could get a certain amount of splatters in a Warthog and it gives you a special vehicle model or a special set of tyres. I mean, they could do a challenge that is just travel distance in vehicles. That's something that Fortnite seems to be a big fan of, and again, this could just give you some kind of special reward, whether it be an emblem or charm. Then there could be some more difficult ones that do give you some more exciting rewards, like getting a specific amount of backsmacks. These could award players with special armor coatings or pieces of armor. And I do hope 343 potentially sees this and takes some of this into consideration, as I feel like it would be nothing but beneficial for the game. It just gives players more to do, more things to enjoy. I mean, when it comes to something like Milestones, it doesn't just have to be linked to the basic multiplayer, it could actually be tied to Forge too. Maybe for uploading a Forge project, you get an emblem. If your Forge project gets a certain amount of plays, you get another special reward. Obviously, for those that get featured in a blog post, you get a special emblem, and for those that get their map into matchmaking, you get the Master Builder coating, and I think you get a visor too. Which is awesome. I'm glad those things are there, as they really highlight the talented people in the community. But I do think it would be cool if there was some other Forge rewards too, just for that added bit of incentive for more players to try Forge out. And there could also be other ones linked to custom games. I doubt these would give any super exciting rewards, because if they are linked to custom games or Forge, then there's a large chance they'll be easily exploitable. Moving away from all that though, there is technically one other kind of progression that I didn't really comment on, and that is Ranked. Ranked has its own divisions, being Bronze, Silver, Gold, all the way up to Onyx. Now, I don't play Ranked, I haven't played it since Season 1, I did my placement matches, got to Diamond, and didn't care. Although I do know Ranked has a following, it is a smaller following, all things considered. But I believe if there was more rewards tied to Ranked and more of an incentive, then more people would play it. This would probably also come with making it more difficult to achieve some of those higher tiers if there was an actual reward. But I still feel like it's something that should be considered, even if it's just like where at the end of the season you get special weapon coatings. I think Gears 5 did something similar to that. I think if you, depending which division you finish the season in, you would get like a special weapon skin, and I'd like to see Infinite do something similar. Obviously, again, you do get emblems, but that seems to be the only reward that's handed out for everything, and a lot of people don't care. I haven't changed my emblem since I got my pre-order bonus one, which is the Chosen one. That is the only emblem I have used since the game has released. That's not because there isn't any others that good, there is some that do look pretty decent, but I just don't think they're very exciting. I remember back in one of the 343 live streams, they mentioned something about Infinite being infinitely rewarding, and as of right now, I do feel like they've done a lot that's good. I think there has been a lot of free PCs, free cosmetics that you can unlock across the battle passes, the events, etc. But with a lot of these being stuck behind FOMO or sometimes behind a paywall, and with crosscore not being a thing yet, I do feel like there should be more that players can earn. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not necessarily saying they need to design new cosmetics to give out for some of these things, as there is already a ton of unreleased coatings, unreleased visors, and there's even some unreleased pieces of armor. There is 2 sets of shoulder pads for the Mark 5B, there is a set of shoulder pads for Rick Chassis, and we actually don't know if those butterfly crash shoulder pads are going to come out for Yoroi during the new Tenrai events or not. There are so many cool looking things that they just didn't release, that they could have put in store bundles but chose not to. And I don't think it would be too much of an issue to just throw some of these in some random ranks, whether that be in Ranked or the progression system or anything else. But anyway, I am going to wrap things up there. I am curious what you all think. What would you change about Infinite's current progression system across the career rank, the battle pass, and everything else? Or are you content with the way it is? I know some people are pretty happy with the progression system, and a lot of players are just happy to be able to flex their rank, but I know there is a good majority, there is a large handful of players who just crave something more. But yeah, let me know what you all think down in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.